Okay, this is one of the programs we'll be starting on health. I'm Dr. Keith Lawrence. This one's entitled The Mental Influences in Nutrition. It was learned that an emotion is a complex of reflex, aroused nerve muscle gland reactions, and that the nervous, muscular, and glandular reactions in certain emotional states are such as to inhibit or suspend certain functions, like digestion and excretion, for example, while other of these reactions favor the performances of these functions. For instance, take a look at this. You can look at some of the emotional expressions. This young lady here, what do you think she's going through her mind? She's happy, stuff in her mind, she's stressed, she's angry, got fired, husband did something, cat got ran over, as opposed to the senior. Looks like she's enjoying her meal, even though what she may be putting on her food may not be the healthiest. But your mind is definitely influenced by what you consume and vice versa. Take a look at this. Just look at some of the photos that are in here. How about this one? The baby who's enjoying their meal. We can remember that, have those of you who had kids, how they eat. Everything is affected both by what we think before, during, and after our meals. How about this one? The McDonald's commercial says, "I'm loving it." Well, if you continue to consume that high fat, high processed Mac death foods, you'll be lugging it. So everything that you do is affected. Your emotional state, it has a direct correlation to the digestion of your food. Whether you're happy, frustrated, depressed, or just plain angry, even at what your food you're about to consume, or you just kind of demure. All of these things are expressed and your body exactly responds accordingly. For instance, your attitude affects more than you think. For instance, bad news. Bad news cuts off a hearty appetite. Grief may suspend the appetite for days. And ordinary mental processes do not so greatly influence hunger, but fear, joy, and other emotions temporarily abolish the sensation. I mean, the so-called destructive emotions abolish not only hunger, but also the so-called hunger contractions of the stomach and the secretions of digestive juices. The digestive juices or digestive secretions are, to a great extent, influenced by the emotions. We need to know that moods and emotions profoundly influence the secretions of all the glands of the body and thereby exert a tremendous influence upon the whole of the nutritive processes. I mean, there's a term they call psychic secretions. Now, don't get this confused. We're talking about some mumbo jumbo mental supernatural emanations or ghosts and all that stuff. Psychic secretion is simply a term that means how your mind, what you're thinking, and how these hormones can be executed because of what's going on in your mind. So we use the term psychic secretion. It's that part of the digestive juices which flows in response to one's mental states and emotions and sense pleasures. You see, the flow of the salivary and gastric juice is influenced by so-called psychic factors. For instance, the sight, smell, or the anticipation of a meal will cause these secretions to be poured out. You see, the stomach waters as much as the mouth does. I mean, the taste of food, even where the food never reaches the stomach, will cause the gastric juice to be poured out. People in the state of mental exhilaration who are joyous and happy, or who have experienced a feeling of well-being, have better digestion than others. I mean, the so-called psychic secretion lasts about 30 minutes. And this particular thing constitutes about approximately 20% of the total amount of the gastric juice. I mean, strong emotions like rage, fear, jealousy, worry, etc., all are intense mental impulses. Immediately, these things stop the rhythmic motions of the stomach walls and suspend the secretion of the digestive juices. I mean, fear and rage not only make the mouth dry, they dry the stomach as well. How about pain? It's fascinating. You see, pain impaired the secretion of the gastric juice, stopping entirely the psychic secretion. Not only do all strong destructive emotions inhibit the delicately regulated psychic secretion, but even too great joy will do likewise. I mean, for people who are nervously depressed, they have poor secretion and are usually chronic dyspeptic, which means they have a lot of abdominal problems, irritable bowel syndrome, gastric upset, ulcers, things like that. You see, observations made on mental patients, particularly those suffering from the so-called manic depressant psychosis, they have shown that their psychic secretions are poor or negligible, which means you can hardly measure them. But even a normal man who was about to take an examination about which he had doubts about his ability to pass, required to digest and send the meal out of his stomach 2 hours longer than under normal circumstances. For instance, worry, fear, anxiety, apprehension, excitement, hurry, fretfulness, irritableness, temper, despondency, unfriendliness, and a critical attitude, and even a heated argument at mealtime, etc., etc. You see, these things can prevent the secretion of the digestive juices and other secretions of the body and cripple not only digestion, but the whole process of nutrition. I mean, mental excitement results in the same weakening reactions upon the body as do intoxicants. If you drank a fifth or smoked a joint, it all affects your digestive system. You see, it occasions the same degeneracy and loss of vital reserve as do alcoholics. How about this? Corrosive worries, burning thrills, the searing fires of uncontrolled emotions, and freezing fears, and similar mental and emotional states actually lower vitality, weaken digestive power, and leave the food in the digestive tract prey to microbes. I mean, none of us go throughout, the day without repeated shocks, emotional upheavals, worries, and periods of anxiety and irritation. But the average man and woman is usually able to throw off in a brief period these things. I mean, the fact that one is not able to throw them off quite readily shows that there is something wrong. I mean, let's take shock, for instance. I mean, shock as from a wound or an operation will cause sugar to appear in the urine. Apprehensiveness and nervousness or excitement do the same. I mean, worry, for instance, as from a financial loss, is a common cause of functional glycosuria, which means sugar in the urine. How about an argument? You see, an argument is frequently responsible for an increase in blood pressure, gastrointestinal digestive disorders, gallbladder troubles. I mean, these being outgrowths of the digestive derangement. Derangement, this is just tore up, it's jacked up. And acute exacerbations of diabetes. Every mood and emotion reacts upon every cell and every function in the body. Destructive emotions create discord in the physical functions of the body. The angry man sends a torrent of rage into his own constructive cell world, according to Dr. Gibson, as he expresses it. And it disrupts the orderly working of his cells. And previous tissue structures, once were pillars of vital strength, are reduced to ruin and ashes. Putting it simply, what it's saying is, how you think, your attitude affects your digestion. And whatever affects your digestion affects your health. And whatever affects your health affects you. You see, how about this one? Noise, noise, noise. You see, noise while eating disturbs digestion. Did you know that? Noise and jazz both reduce salivary and gastric secretion nearly to 1/2. I mean, noisy crowds, excitement, and the emotional stress, these occasionally inhibit and derange digestion. as opposed to quiet, cheerful surroundings with congenial companions, these things actually help to enhance their digestion. And people tell me, well, it doesn't matter. My grandma, she smokes, drinks, and she lived to be 100 years old. But beloved, longevity and quality of life are not the same. You may live to be 100, but how much of a healthy 100 are you? So let's treat the body the way God designed to be treated, because the Bible tells us, beloved, we are fearfully and wonderfully made, and we should take care of this body temple in which the Holy Spirit dwells. If we do not, it will not take care of you. So live long, not like the Star Trek dude says, but live long and give God praise and glory. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned. There's a lot more health information, especially for these last days coming. Take care, and God bless.